All right. Hello, everybody. I hope this is working. And I hope you are. And I hope And I hope you're having a fantastic day today, tonight. Hopefully you're not freezing, which is very important because I think the wind chill is supposed to hit, I think, negative 30 to negative 50 in certain parts in the Midwest. Today I wanted to do a quick video. I wanted to try out how to do a live stream on my computer, which I'm not very tech savvy, so you gotta bear with me. Wanted to show you a couple items that are quick sellers on eBay that you can find in any thrift store. So just bear with me as I get this going. Hopefully it fills up the whole screen. Well, of course it's not that I see, but I'm learning. Everything's about learning, right? Alright, well this is good enough, I think. Alright, so the first item I wanted to talk about, well, items I wanted to talk about are coffee grinders. There's a bunch of different models out there. This one is a Braun aromatic coffee grinder. It actually uses a blade instead of gears, which makes this a little not as popular as other items, but it is still pretty popular. This one you can use it for spices and different things like that, like peppercorn and many different spices and whatnot, as well as coffee. But I wouldn't use them right after each other because you might have some spicy coffee. Since there's different kinds, that one is, these two right here are big sellers. You can probably pick them up for maybe $2 to $3 at a thrift store. This one actually has the paperwork with it, and it's very good looking. You just clean it out with like an antibacterial wipe and make sure the blade works. You don't have to test it with coffee grounds, of course, because you know that the blade spins and will work perfectly because the person probably before you already tried it. So there's two different kinds out here. Actually, these are the same kind, but they both sold. There's a $35.99 for that one and $34.99 on that one as well. And it's free shipping. I believe I use a 9x6x4 box. It's a thin box because you don't want a real heavy box because you could probably lower the cost on the shipping on that. So you have these two blade coffee grinders, mills, spice mills if you want to use spices in it. And then you go to a little higher end. It doesn't mean higher price, it's just a higher end type of coffee grinder. Is a burr grinder, and this one uses, like I said, gears inside of it to pretty much tear apart the coffee bean itself so it can saturate easier. These are not necessarily sought after unless you get specific brands or styles. The Bodum is another very good brand. It's $45 on this one with one bid, with $14 for shipping. And the issue with this listing that I have is they're not using an actual picture of the item itself, which makes me kind of wonder, am I necessarily getting, how pre-owned is it? It says pre-owned in good condition, but how good of condition does it look, because we all want to see what we're going to buy unless it's brand new. Then we know exactly what we're going to get. Next, I wanted to talk about clocks. You'd be surprised with vintage clocks that you can purchase at thrift stores, Goodwill, Savers, things like that. This one you could probably find for like $5.99, maybe $9.99 at a Savers or Goodwill. And this one sold for $139.99 with $14.70 for shipping, which is outrageous. I don't understand why it goes for so much, but it does. The condition on this item is fantastic, which is probably another reason why it went for so high. Because a lot of clocks have a lot of damage to it. This one looks like it's practically brand new, but it is vintage. So I would probably place this around maybe 1970s, 1980s. So keep an eye on clocks, because there's other ones out there, not as high end as the one that we just saw, but we have this one that just looks like a generic clock that you could find at a garage sale for maybe $4. I mean, maybe $2. Some of them might even have $1 price tag on them, and it would be pretty simple to just pick one of these up. $2, which is less than a cup of coffee. Learn the basics on how to pack and ship. The only thing that you really need to learn is how eBay works when it comes to returns. Really do your studies on making sure that the item's functions all work, because I've had a customer that asked me, does the auxiliary port work? How does the sound come through the speakers? Do all the buttons work? Is it dirty? You know, etc. Now those are vintage. Sometimes you may not run into vintage clocks, but this one I actually picked up. This isn't my exact item and listing that I have, but I actually picked one up just like this for around $5 or $6 at a consignment shop, and I paid $5 or $6, and it goes for $85.88. I think I sold mine for maybe $60, but still, when you spend $6 and it sells for well more than $50, is just amazing, and you would never think it would be that good. Alright, I'm still learning how to do the live stream, so please bear with me. Hopefully, let me know in the chat below if it's coming through. It looks like it's a little bit lagging though. That's my only concern I have. So let me see if I can change some things. I'll probably do some more of these live streams on items that are great to buy. I'm just trying to learn how to do this. It seems simple on paper, but when you actually try and read it, it's not. So let me just keep going forward with this. Another item that you may find for maybe 50 cents are tape recorders. You would never think that a tape recorder would sell, but they do, and they sell quite fast. I think I had one that I sold. I think I listed it and just sold it immediately. Here's one right here. Again, if you spent like 50 cents on this item, you would be making a good amount on it, because it sold for $18.99. It's a little bit lagging here. Let it catch up. Yeah, you can buy them for like 50 cents to $1 and sell for $18.99. Another tip and trick with these is if you have a blank tape, like this item here, add a couple blank tapes if you are able to. Put that in the listing itself. The user guide is good, but it's not necessary. But blank tapes people really like, because then they don't have to go out and actually buy more of those tapes, because they bought the product and then they bought the tapes with it. Kind of like when somebody buys a game console, they get a free game with it. So it appeals to certain people that would want that same game for that console, and they just buy the console itself and don't have to go out and buy that game. And they might get a discount as well, because it's included. Like the game, let's say, is $60 and you buy the console, which is $300. The console itself could be, I don't know, anywhere from like $260 to $280. So they're throwing in the game for maybe $20, which is nothing to them, but they still got you to buy the console that wasn't selling. The last two items, I'll put a bonus item at the end, but here's another item, is vintage clocks. Just like the clocks that I showed you before over here. These clocks are pretty ideal to keep an eye out for. So just like these vintage ones, I don't know if there's much lag or anything. I hope you can hear me. If you can hear me, just let me know in the chat. It's just really slow. It's probably my Wi-Fi. But just like vintage digital clocks, vintage like toy clocks like these have sold for $10, $6. The older ones, $6 with $7 shipping. Sold for a decent amount. I mean, if you get them at a good price. But I actually, somehow, I sold mine. This one's mine right here on top. I sold mine for $27.20. I had it on a 15% discount, and I actually have two of them, and the customer gave me a positive feedback saying that it's great vintage learning tool for their child, because it plays music and you can teach them time on there as well. And for the bonus item to really look for that will shock you, because it shocked me when I first saw this item and looked it up when I was in the thrift shop, would be the Scrubbing Bubbles Automatic Shower Cleaner. You would have never thought that this item would go for so much money. They go for a lot of money. They're all listed at a high price. But when you go to the sold listings, it's outrageous. You would have never thought that something like this would sell for that high amount. But I think the thing is, it's because you can't buy them anymore. And people really like it, so then they want to purchase it. And this one doesn't say how much it was, but the best offer was accepted. They had it at $99. There's a $119, $75 for a brand new one, which makes me wonder if a brand new one went for $75, then the one up top here, which is actually mine, I sold this one on top. So if $99 brand new one, mine was new other because it's been opened and it looked like it was in a garage, and it took me a long time to clean it. But this one sold for $127.50. But I think the thing is, you really gotta focus on making sure that your listings are clean. The photos are very, very clean. Some of these listings, the photos are okay. I mean, they're not the best. There's no white background on some of them. But it's mainly make sure your photos are very clean and not blurry, and that the customer can see every single detail in there. As well as, if you like, this is your own option, but do free shipping. Some people don't like free shipping. Some people want the customer to pay for it, but I always integrate the cost of the shipping into the item itself. So again, I only spent like $6 on this item. Well, I'm okay with spending maybe $10 to $20 on shipping, which I think I spent around $10 to ship this item because it didn't go too far. But if you only invested less than $10 and it's going to go for over $100, I would really look into items like this and doing free shipping. Now, another thing is to do free returns. If you do free returns, a trick with that is if you ship it to a customer and they want to return it, and the case opens up for them to return the item and they have so many days to return it, and they give you a negative feedback, well, it doesn't matter whose fault it was. It's pretty much eBay will take your side, or it doesn't really matter whose side it'll take, but within that policy they will say it's not for you to receive that negative feedback, so they'll actually take away that negative feedback for a return. So free returns are good because I rarely get returns. I think I have 2% return rate, and that's mainly on electronic items that they don't want. But half the time when they open up a return, they don't actually get the return. Another idea to do with your products is, if you have a store, you can always mark your items up by 15%, and then you can put a sale on all your items, or certain items that you want to sell. Put a 15% off entire store. That would be a good idea. Then you can make it look like it's a good deal, and people think that they're getting a great deal out of it when they didn't do the research to see that you pretty much just marked it up. But the thing is, Walmart does it, Target does it, any retail store will mark up their items and then put a discount on it, and you're pretty much paying the same price as before it was discounted, but they market you on that. I wanted to thank everybody that watches my videos, my new ones, my old ones, my cringy ones that you may have seen in the past, especially the first one. That was a little, I left it on there to remind myself of the progress that I am getting with my videos and how I'm getting better with this. The technical stuff is a little difficult for me, but the information's always there, and I'm always here for if anybody wants to talk about reselling or life in general, because we all sometimes have too much stress in our lives, and it's always best to have someone there to listen and not judge you on your feelings of what's going on, because sometimes, like I said, sometimes you just need someone to listen to, and sometimes you want to be listened to. You know what I mean. It's just good to have someone there for you. So I'm always there for anybody that wants to talk. Any struggles that you have, we all have them. I'm going through some. You can find me on Instagram at the same name that I have as Thrift Hunter with a 3 for the E, because I am the third of my family. So I have the third family name, so I thought that was kind of clever, because somebody else has the same Thrift Hunter, but I threw in the 3 because I'm the third. Alright, I hope you all have a fantastic night. Stay as warm as you can. If you have pets, keep them inside, please. Check on your neighbors, and you all have a fantastic night. Thank you so much. Bye.